Now, the organization has always preferred the word Godhead to Trinity,
Yeah.
and it has never endorsed Father, Son, and Holy Spirit as one God expressed in three persons who share substance.
You would say, how come we don't know this? They can read our literature and they come to this conclusion. And Seventh-day Adventists be like, no, it's not. No, it's not. That's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We're not Trinitarians.
Instead, Ellen White wrote about the heavenly trio and the three worthies of heaven well into the years just before her death.
Yep, that's right. There was no change. Oh, but no, she became, on her deathbed, she became a Trinitarian. She confessed. I was there. I heard it. Someone was there. He wrote it. He said, yeah, she confessed. She became a Trinitarian just before she died. All of her ministry, she was deceiving people. And just before she died, I got to be a Trinitarian. Now, I won't go to heaven. I'm going to do it in secret. I ain't going to let nobody know. I'm just going to tell this dude right here. And he's going to divulge it around the place. These people think that the pioneer was coward like them.
Is tried to adopt language that deceives its members and outsiders about their understanding of the Godhead.
Who's doing that? It wasn't something that, it wasn't Ellen G. White. It wasn't the founders. It's the pastors today that's doing it. But it started in the 50s. That's when it really took traction. That's when we became Trinitarians. That's when we officially became Trinitarians. Because they were peddling this from the time Ellen G. White died. The next general conference, how are we going to look at her writings now? These are a bunch of cowards. Bible got a word for these people. Dumb dogs that will not bark. What the Bible call them? No, as soon as she died, how are we going to see her writings yet? Because, those churches, they don't believe she was inspired. They're going to start call us names.
They know that this doctrine is a foundational principle that identifies an orthodox denomination from a cultic offshoot.
I want you all to listen to that. And this is the God's truth, what you just said there. It is an orthodox teaching from the Catholic Church, where it come from. And this thing, this abomination, this thing decides whether you are a Christian or not. You can't make this up. If you are not a Trinitarian, people, I don't know how our brothers and sisters can't see this. If you are not a Trinitarian, you are not Christian. What makes you a Trinitarian? What makes you a Christian? The Trinity. This is their doctrine. They are the one that decides who is going to be Christian or not. And Seventh-day Adventists just can't figure this out. This is their doctrine. It's their doctrine, their teaching. They made it, they came up with it, and they have the rights to it. This is why Seventh-day Adventists had to become Trinitarians in order to be Christians. Because we wasn't Christians before. Yeah, they had another name for us. And they don't know how this Christian business, just stop and think about this. The first time that we were called Christians, where was it? It was in Antioch. Everybody, yeah, it was in Antioch. That's where we first called. And they just run right across. Nothing else to see here. No, let's stop a little bit. Who called us Christians? That's the first time we were called Christians. It was Antioch. It was long after Christ died and resurrected. Long after Paul came on the scene. First time we were called Christian was in Antioch. Who called us Christian? Did we call ourselves Christians? No, we didn't. Who called us Christian? Pagans. And who called us Christians? Why did they call us Christians? Because that was the closest thing, the closest God that they had to Christ. What was that pagan God called? It was called Christus. It's a pagan name representing a pagan God. And they just say, okay, this is close enough. This must be Christus here. We can call them Christians. And the pagans started to call us Christians. We didn't call that. What were we called? Did we have a name? All of a sudden, people doesn't even think. Did we have a name before they started? Did we have our own name before they started to call us Christians? But let's see if we did. Let's see if the Bible tells us what we were called. Next, before we get there, Christ. Because Christ is Christus. That's where it comes from. You know that this word Christ, that's the same pagan God. They call the Son of God Christ. Was Christ his name? Was Jesus his name? Jesus is another pagan God. It's actually a compound word of the same pagan God. It's called Eos. And I remember, it's a long time I did that investigation. But it's the same word. They divide the word into half. And just made the same God. He had two different names. And they united the two names for the same God. And call it Eosus, something like that. That's Jesus, what we call Jesus. Pagan gods. Did the Son of God have a name? Yes, he did. What was the name? Yeshua. Why don't we call him that? No, you can't call him by his name. We already have a name for him. We call him what we want to call him. Well, do what you like. Do as you like. But let's go and see what we used to call ourselves. What we were called before they started to call us Christians. Check this out, brothers and sisters. There it is. Acts 24 and verse 5 says, "For we have found this man," speaking of Paul, "a pestilent fellow, and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarene." That's what we were called, Nazarenes. So the pagans give us they did us a favor and call us, no, you're not going to be called Nazarene, you're going to be called after our God, Christus. Christians, that's what you're going to be called from now on. They didn't make a big deal out of it. The apostle them didn't make a big deal out of it. And all of the pagans, when Paul was defending his liberty there in front of what was this guy's name? There it is. Acts 26 and verse 28 says, "Then Agrippa said unto Paul, Almost thou persuaded me to be a Christian." And there's another time that this word Christian is found in the Bible. It's in 1 Peter 4 and verse 16. "Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God in his behalf." Let him not be ashamed if he suffer as a Christian. He said, well, this is Christian here. The apostle, they seem to be thinking that it's good to call people Christians. Really? What does the word Christians mean? Let's look at that. Let's look at that here. This is Acts. This is what we should be calling ourselves, not Christians. But let's go ahead and look at Acts 11 and verse, where was that? There it is. 11:26 says here, we should put this in. You can read it. So it says the disciple was called Christian first in Antioch. Here the word Christian. Check what it means. It means a Christian that is a follower of Christ. Christian. Okay, that doesn't say much, does it? But this is where it comes from. Check what it is. Christus. What does Christus mean? Let's check that out. Maybe it's oh my goodness. Christus mean anointed. This is the God Christus. This is what the word means. Anointed. That is the Messiah. The Messiah. That's what Christian mean. Or Christ, better say. That's what Christ mean. Messiah. But you tell them, no, are you Messians? No, they're not that. They're Christians. So what's the difference? No, you see, Christians and Messiahs do different things. We can say that we're Christians, but we can't say that we're Messians, because Messiahs mean something else. Means it doesn't mean the same thing. Yes, yeah, I'm a Messiah. That's what we are. That was Seventh-day Adventists are. Messiahs. That's probably a new word that I'm coining. Messiahs. I want to say Messianic. That also get a little confusing. Messiahs. That's what we are. No. That's legalism. That's legalism. You can't be saying that kind of stuff. 3 times the word Christian is found in the Bible. 2 times the word Christian is found in the Bible. And 1 time the word Christians is found in the Bible. Yeah, I make this up. They are Christians. That's what they are. And what makes them Christian? Their God makes them Christian. The Trinity is what decides if you're a Christian or not. The Trinity does that. You can't make this up. Not abomination. You don't even find it in the Bible, but that decides if they are Christians or not. And that also decides if they're going to call someone else Christian. Because if you ain't one of them, guess what? You're not one of them. And they're going to call you one of them. Because they are Christians. I said let them keep the name.